But then Punk is in the ring, the lights go out, and all of a sudden you hear Tony Khan's voice from a voicemail that he had sent to someone, and he is offering them to come back. He will put this person in the casino battle royal. You don't have to sign anything, and you will get, and it's bleeped out, whatever the amount is. And then they cut to ROH footage of CM Punk cutting the greatest trick the devil ever played promo, and then the Joker from earlier in the night unmasks on screen, and it is MJF who states, he is the devil, or I am the devil himself. And then the music plays and the place erupts for MJF, who walks out, and Punk is holding the title belt up in the ring. The whole arena is chanting MJF. And he makes the signal for the title belt, gives the middle finger to the audience, and Excalibur says, "We'll find out more on Dynamite." Because it's also going to be Daniel Garcia taking on Wheeler Yuta. Plus, we're going to have a trios match. It's going to be the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy taking on Death Triangle. And that's how the show ended. I thought a great angle to go off the show with, your most newsworthy angle to do. You know what the next major title program is going to be. And I thought it was a strong end to the show. Like it ties up the story, and it gives you that direction.
I feel as well, if you want to do that heel turn with Punk, like having MJF cheered in Chicago, like the last image is Punk holding the title with his hometown Chicago going MJF, MJF. Yeah. It's great, like fuel moving forwards. But yeah, I'm glad MJF's back. He's one of the best to me, and I think he's been missed.
Yeah, I really liked his intro video. It was something creative. I like the fact that we started the pay-per-view with this like mystery that like you kind of could figure it out. It was him, and then obviously the big reveal. But I think it was very creative, and the Rolling Stones, even though he came out to his actual music the second time.
He even did his usual entrance. It was very obvious to. It was an interesting way to create a show long narrative on a pay-per-view, which I don't think you often see, but delivered a satisfying conclusion. Unfortunately, I think this firmly ends any sort of worked shoot believability that we might have still been able to hang on to with MJF and whatever was going on with him. It is now firmly storyline, and at some point, whenever he was going to return and you're building to a wrestling match, that had to end anyway. So I'm not really too upset about it. But
there is though the one big question, and I don't think the principals are going to be revealing this, is the fact of, has he signed a real extension? In the storyline, he's signed nothing, but in actuality, if he is not, are you going to push this guy as one of your main heels or baby faces in this title picture, and potentially he leaves in a year?
John, I think the answer is yes. Because even if
I think it would be crazy not to have that extension signed.
Sure, but even if he does leave, your job is to make as much money as you can off of him until he does go. And if he will leave eventually anyway, if he is going to. But at the same time, do you throw away all this great kind of buzz about him because you don't want to push a guy that might just ultimately be taken by the competition? I think you make as much money out of him as you can.
I think it's fighting that perception, though, that I think is going to be more prevalent, that I think there's going to be a lot more talent that are much more in line in terms of WWE will be recruiting them that a year ago they might not have been as open to. And he's a top one. Do you want to have that, do you want to make it a trend of, main event talent that are leaving your company and going to WWE, who ultimately can, they're going to have a ton of money at their disposal for all of these people. I mean, it's great for an MJF. He is in a fantastic position.
I also don't think you should be in the sort of business of stopping people from reaching their stardom, And I think the trick, if he is going to leave, is to try to give his value to somebody else. And we can also mention he's going to now be associated with Stokely Hathaway, who had managed him in the Indies,
right? And
presumably is going to be the leader of this brand new faction with Morrissey. The
Lee Moriarty, the Gun Club, and
I feel like
Morrissey.
Yeah, Morrissey's is replacing Wardlow now. He'll be his new big man,
which does have the connection from the Wardlow setup when he brought Morrissey in the first time a couple of months ago. So
true.
There's that as well.
I like this story. I like the storyline, and I would be interested to see if you could even flip MJF to be a good guy and Punk to be the heel. But
I think he's going to be a babyface on Wednesday when he comes out. If he's on the show on Wednesday, which I think you'd want to have him be the main focus on Wednesday with a big promo. I think he's going to be received as a babyface.
But will the faction be a babyface faction though? They're all heels.
Oh, true. Yeah, true.
I'm just saying that he walks out on Wednesday. That's a babyface reaction. So I mean, it's not going to take a lot, I think, for him to turn the crowd, but I think that will be the natural reaction that they have.